Sox are world champions. This is going to be a tough play. The Cubs. Skies. It's the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all in 7-10.
Welcome to the Triple Shot Sports Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Combs, joined as always by my ever-vibrant host, Super Boss Chad Launder. How we doing, Chad?
How's it going, Brandon? I've got my Sammy going here. I've got my Bruins stuff on because the baseball season's already over. So stop are ruining it already. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Let's go.
It's not over. The Marlins are over, but they were over before they started. All right. So today we will touch on the legend that is Joe Kelly, also the Marlins COVID outbreak and their future this season. Play way or no way, and we will end with a new and improved shop talk segment that is designed just for our live viewers. So you guys stay tuned for that because we will certainly be interacting with you for that final segment there.
Yes, sir.
But first, we promised a special announcement on our Facebook page today.
You're pregnant?
Not exactly. Not yet. No, I got snipped a while ago, so I'm not pregnant. But joining us now, we have Ryan Lawless, who is the owner of 603 Motorsports and driver of the 6NH car in the NHSTRA Pure Stock Division, and my longtime friend. Ryan, how's it going?
Good, guys. The weather's pretty nice here in New Hampshire. I don't know what it's like where you guys are.
Friggin' balmy,
so it stinks.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma. Just constantly, my balls are sweating all the time. That's just the way life is.
All right. Well, hey, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about 603 Motorsports and the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association?
Yeah, sure. So the race team was formed this past winter with the idea that we were going to do, a little bit of everything and, some different, fan favorites such as demolition derbies, some endurance racing and a few other things. And we kind of took off and decided to do this pure stock thing after the COVID stuff hit. So then we decided to pick a track, 4 local tracks, all run under the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association banner, and they run the same rules. So within hour and a half of us, we can run 4 different tracks, 2 to 3 nights a week. There's a 5th track in the area as well that's not associated with them, but they run a very similar rule package, so we can actually go a lot of different places, see a lot of different people, and have a lot of different fun. We're lucky to be able to have that. As some people may know, NASCAR was the first professional sport to get back to doing events here after the COVID restrictions were lifted. So we were lucky with that as well.
Oh, that sounds like a whole lot of fun. So you're going to be driving the cars. So
that's what they tell me.
You sure you're not the guy holding the gas tank there, Ryan?
I mean, I do. I fill the gas, I turn the wrenches.
Does it all. Hop out and just start changing your tires, yelling at yourself like, faster, let's go.
It could happen. You get a tire down. I'm lucky. I got a couple great people that help me out in the garage and at the track. So I don't hope it doesn't come to that point. They're not going to be a NASCAR quality pit crew, but they can put their beer down for a few minutes.
If you can do it with beer, it's even better. I guess Brendan and I will have to head up there and help you out then, I guess.
Anytime.
All right. So Ryan reached out to me last week about sponsorship. And, of course, I thought for a minute. And then I said, yeah, but I want the hood. And he said, absolutely. And that's why he's here tonight. So we're actually seeing this for the first time with our viewers. So, Ryan, without further ado, why don't you show us all the hood?
All right. You'll have to bear with me a little bit. The camera doesn't work as well as I want, but.
Let's go.
Look at that.
So, you got your microphone, you got the RTF Sports Network, and then right over here.
Look at that. Triple Shot Sports.
TSS.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to get so the guy that does our lettering was actually going on vacation today. So he scrambled last night for me. and got this all to me this afternoon. And so we were actually talking. We're going to get a little bit more pinstriping and maybe put some lines around some stuff. So, in the next week or so, we're going to buff it up a little bit as well. So, it definitely, if people are in the New Hampshire area, head out to a track. We're going to be running Friday night in Claremont, New Hampshire, for our first time at the track. They have a big twin event for our division next Friday, August 7th, that we're going to leave right from work at 5:00 and probably miss most practice to get up there. But that's the hope. But it's a pretty big memorial event they have going on up there.
Nice.
So how much longer before we get into the NASCAR circuit with this triple shot sports car?
Well, we're pretty close. We're not quite a NASCAR sanctioned division yet, but you never know.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Brandon, when you and I are up there helping change tires and crap like that, maybe then Ryan can actually just concentrate on driving.
I'll let you change the tires. I'll sit out back with a beer and watch.
That's you admitting you have no idea how to change a tire. That's all that was right there.
I have AAA.
Most of the tracks have a lovely beer garden, and actually Claremont, I think they do a happy hour from 6 to 7 o'clock on Friday nights in their beer garden.
Man,
yes.
I'm from New Hampshire, man. Claremont is just happy hour all damn day long. They just drink constantly. Come on, man.
That's a true story.
Okay, you got me there.
Okay.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are definitely proud to sponsor the team and the car. When is the first race scheduled for you guys again? Friday?
So we're running Friday night, July 31st. We're going to be at Claremont Motorsports Park in Claremont, New Hampshire. And then we'll be back there again August 7th for a Twin 25 event. They got some good money on the line, too, for our division. So that'll be a big night. And we're actually, if everything goes well, we'll turn around on Saturday, August 8th. We'll be at Monadnock Speedway in Winchester, New Hampshire. So
how about you just go get us a checkered flag on Friday, and then maybe we can have you back on Sunday, and we'll do our first live on the RTF network. What do you say about that?
I can guarantee I'll be back on Sunday.
No shit. Thanks for putting the pressure on our driver already, Brandon. Jeez, come damn it,
I'm gonna
man.
have to go drink now, guys. I got a little too much pressure, so I'll let you guys talk sports, and we'll watch as we work on finishing a.
Well,
absolutely. All right, so we'll see you, Ryan. Have a good one.
All right, bye, guys.
Hey,
bye.
Good luck Friday night, Ryan.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Way to put pressure on him. That's why Mitch Trubisky sucks. You guys put too much pressure on the kid.
Mitch Trubisky sucks because Mitch Trubisky sucks.
Those Bears are going to sign him for a longer deal than Mahomes just to prove that he should have been drafted higher. I don't like you having control of the muting, man.
Listen, and the comments are already starting to come in here.
Go Cardinals. There we go, Alan. I was going to keep it going.
He's still, man, every day. What do I got to do to get that $50?
Just keep coming on, Alan.
He actually forgot, and I didn't tell him, so he re-listened to the episode just so he could find out what he had to do.
It's a win-win, baby. we keep people listening. He's engaging. If he's smart, you just get your friends to get on. Go Cardinals. Just get your dad pissed off constantly. I'm not even a Cardinals fan. I just like to piss him off. We'll do some fantasy sports. You guys will help me. We'll do lineups together, and I'll have you can set it up, and we'll beat your dad. And if we win, boom! If we win in a pay league, I'll just take my pay in, and all the rest that comes through, Alan, you and your friends, I'll throw it to you guys. Have a crazy pizza party and strippers on the account of your dad's pocketbook. All
right. Let's get away from. Let's get away from that and let's get to some actual stuff.
Yes.
Everybody's here for. Everybody's here to talk some sports, and the biggest sports story of the week is the Marlins COVID-19, man. The Marlins were out of this. I almost said the Cardinals because we were just talking about it. They're out of it too. The Marlins were out of this before it even started. They have no shot. They're irrelevant in the NL East. And now baseball is putting their schedule on hold till at least Sunday. I mean, can you go without the Marlins? Yes. However, they do have a schedule with some pretty important NL and AL East teams. what are you going to do? Like, are you going to forfeit their games if you don't let them play after Sunday, or are you going to make them call up minor leaguers and just, go out there and form a team so that teams can beat up on them anyway?
No, I mean, you can't have it where they just don't play. I mean, we've got a condensed season. If you're 162 games and there's something like this, and you can say, hey, we've got a buffer of 10, 15 games throughout the season in order to do something that, you can take care of differences in schedule. I don't know how you can just pause a season in a 60-game season. It just makes no sense to me. It's going to affect everyone. You're going to have teams at the end of the year then going, well, hold up. If we had our 2-3 game series with the Marlins, we would have been able to do this. And teams are not going to want to play back-to-back doubleheaders to make up games. I mean, you've got what now? Philly and New York, and you've got what? Some teams telling the Marlins they're not even going to travel to Florida. What was it? The Baltimore Orioles, I think, or the Nationals. The Nationals.
Yeah,
they were like, we're not even going to go.
Yeah.
This is not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, I was hopeful train to start. You were the one that literally predicted this, and then you got.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
You got too damn giddy. You got too damn excited for the season, and then you're like, "Oh, no! Let me tell you why it's going to work." And you were dead on. So I'm giving you all the credit here, but don't.
See, I posted
where are we again?
Right after all this stuff happened, I posted that I think the NFL and MLB are about a week away from shutting down operations. I've since retracted that a little bit because I don't think that MLB is going to shut down operations. They seem to be still going pretty strong, with the exception of the Phillies series that got shut down with the Yankees, and the Marlins series obviously getting shut down as well. But I mean, I'm watching the Cubs and Reds right now. I'm watching, you know what I mean? I watched baseball earlier today. So,
but what happens when one more team gets this? What happens when one more team gets 17 to 19 players?
If one more team has an outbreak like that, I mean, is it a coincidence that it was a Florida team with the outbreak that you know what I mean?
I know that keeps getting brought up, but they weren't even in Florida. They were in Philadelphia.
They were in Florida before they went to Philly.
But they didn't find out. Yeah, I mean, true in that aspect, but still
they were 2 to 3 days to get a test result.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for you and me, it does, but not for them. It doesn't.
Yeah,
they get that shit back quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think baseball will try to push through it. If one more team gets an outbreak like this, I don't think you can sustain the rest of the season. I just don't. I think the NFL is probably closer. I mean, guys are dropping out left and right.
It's going to be the New England Revolution playing out in Foxborough with the way my boys are just dropping out. It's friggin' tank for Trevor, baby. Yeah. I hated people saying that. Tank for Trevor.
They had to go watch
Jeter's gift baskets.
Strike Club.
the Jeter and his gift baskets thing. Like, listen, you made the point to start this. The Marlins were already out of it, right? And again, here's me giving you some more credit. I made the argument that in a shortened season, teams that are behind the start, they're going to have more of an opportunity. I'm a friggin' Sox fan. They have no chance. It's a damn weekend, and they don't have a damn chance. So you're right. The Marlins are out. What happens when it's the Dodgers? What happens when it's the Brewers? What happens when it's the Mets, who are doing a heck of a lot better, and even I think even better than you and I even predicted? Like, what happens when it's one of these teams? You can't just shut that down for a week and go, we're pausing their season. This isn't going to work. It's not going to work. But I'll give Manfred credit. I thought he was going to be like, oh, thank God. I didn't want this to happen halfway through the season. It's nice and early. Yeah, guys, we can't do it. But he's saying they're going to hold on. But to me now, it just doesn't make any logical sense. How can you do this?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I mean, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you look at the bubble and the NBA and the NHL. I mean, they have 0 positive tests inside the bubble.
How the hell the NBA has 0 positive tests, though, just blows my mind. Those guys out getting their delivery and hanging out with IG. I wanted to say hookers, but IG models.
Watch your mouth there, buddy. Watch your mouth.
Man, that good for them, though. Good for them. As long as they're not hiding tests, good for them in that aspect. But that just proves that even if you put things in a bubble, even if there's people that kind of go outside of that a little bit, you can reel it in enough, or you can take preventive measures if someone goes outside to make sure you get the chance to take care of everyone, right?
Right.
You can't do that with baseball. You made the point. They're traveling to hotels. The bellhop might have it. The person at the front desk might have it. All the people supporting them might have it. And you can put them contained all you want, but until you get them in a bubble, you get them contained, you get them separated, you're going to get positives. It's just the way it's going to be. And the NHL is doing – you notice I didn't say the NBA. They're doing a good job, though. In fact, they're proving that you can do it, but the NHL is even better. Can get players to get committed to the season.
The NBA is definitely a physical contact, but the NHL is a really physical contact. I mean, I'm watching scrums during in squad games that don't even count yet.
They don't even count. I just watched your boy Chicago just take a guy and flip him right over his back. That doesn't even count.
And you know what? They don't care. The hockey players are toughest sons of bitches out there anyway.
Yep. Dan Reamer, yo, glad having you on, Dan.
I just saw the one guy that I said the Cubs couldn't let go last year was Nick Castellanos, and they let him go.
What did he do?
He just hit a grand slam, put the Reds up 8-0.
Man, we said Cincinnati would be that sneaky team, and I always root Cincinnati's my backup. Secretly root for the Bengals, secretly root for the Reds. I have a Cincinnati Reds hat since I was a kid, but I mean, I don't even think it's going to matter. I don't think this season ends. I'd put money on right now this season doesn't finish. I just don't see it.
Man, I hope you're wrong.
Me too. Not that it matters in Boston, but me too.
Do you think the NFL should go to a bubble? Find a way before their season starts and they get into this mess too? Go find a bubble. I mean, the NBA and the NHL are kind of putting it out there that this is the way to go.
Yeah,
where do you find a place big enough? I think you'd have to play. I think you'd have to separate them by divisions like the Major League Baseball did, and you only play AFC, you only plays the NFC North, that type of stuff, and then pick a day of the week that each one of those play, because I don't think you could do it all on Sundays and Mondays.
You can't in that aspect, but you're right. I think that's the only way you can do it. You got to break it up. You got to have multiple bubbles, but you got to keep them all contained. I think the interesting thing would be like, how do you handle then come playoff time? How do you handle then come the Super Bowl? But the one benefit the NFL does have is it's one game, right? One game, one travel. That's it. If they know everyone's good and getting on a plane and they travel and they have people that have been tested as negative that are right there and can get from airport to a private bus right to the stadium, you have that's almost trying to put it in a bubble manner. You're going to have to make sure, though, if you did something like that, like these teams aren't leaving at 3 a.m. to go to a football game. Those players are going to bitch and moan about that, because if they lose, they're going to say, well, of course I lost. I had to get up at 1 a.m. to be able to make sure that I got tested and got on a bus, a plane, and then a bus, and then had to stretch and everything like that. So, but the one game helps them. But I think you're right. I think you got to do something with bubbles, but you got to break it up because you can't put them all in one bubble.
Our boy Wayne G is listening. Yep. Welcome, Wayne. You're right. 1,500 players definitely harder to contain than 240.
100%.
And that's why I think that 1,500 players in a larger, obviously it's a larger scale bubble, but if they're playing, if you have the AFC, and I mean, to be honest with you, football fans with football every day of the week would go nuts. I mean,
hell yeah, man,
love it. It is definitely going to be harder to contain. It's not, but I think NFL players are. I don't really want to say this without coming off like I don't like basketball players, or I just think that they're
just say it, Brandon.
NFL players, I think, have more discipline when it comes to that. I think that the leadership and the teams and the veterans have a stronger voice in an NFL locker room than you do in an NBA locker room, unless you're like a LeBron James or something. Because if you go on a team like I don't know, the Chicago Bulls right now, they don't have a leader. They don't have a guy who look at there and say,
or Zach LaVine.
Yeah, and you don't. So, I think they could do it if they wanted to. I don't know where. You could. You'd have to have a place where you have three stadiums close enough. I mean, can you do it like like MLB was talking about, where you contain it one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast? I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know how this works, but I think that it's better than traveling, the Bears traveling to Oakland, or
Right.
having these teams that are traveling coast to coast.
New England's got back-to-back in LA. They're playing Chargers and Rams. I mean, that's
the thing. Miami didn't travel far. They traveled to Philly. I mean, it's what, maybe a 3-hour plane ride,
yeah,
a 17-hour car ride.
Yep.
It's not like these guys are taking charter flights. I mean, they're not like they're taking
Southwest. They've got their own.
So I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I have my own, things about this whole COVID thing. I don't think it's. I think the numbers are inflated. I don't think it's as bad as everybody's saying. It's got a 99% survival rate. So I don't think that it's all that crazy, but I do get it. People are out there. People are dying. People are doing all that. I don't want to get into the politics of it all, but
no, that's not. But with the aspect of what it comes down to, I think it's the ego check, because we bring this up quite a bit about how's the NBA going to contain it when the players have an ego check, right? Yeah. The NBA, I think when you look at Silver and the league, doesn't have an ego. Here's where it's going to come down to. The NFL, and I've talked about this, has absolutely put themselves in prime position. They said, we're still doing our draft. It was amazing. They said, we're still going to do free agency. It was amazing. They said, we're still going to do all these other different things. They have put themselves where we've had no sports, that they've still been able to get us to see sports. Now, they canceled preseason. Most people would tell you, hey, right now, I don't care. I'm watching exhibition hockey right now and losing my mind. So I actually think I would care just because of where we're at. But the NFL has been so like, we're going to do this because we can do it and we feel it. At some point, though, that might hurt them, because when the league themselves are saying, hey, we're going to be just fine, it's going to be okay, and it hits them in the face, I don't know, because we're talking about 19 Marlins players. What happens when 40 San Francisco 49ers players get it out of a 53-man roster, 52-man roster? And they're supposed to travel across. I don't know what the 49ers schedule is, but for instance, New England is going to L.A. They're going to L.A., one of the biggest hotspots for back-to-back games against the Rams and the Chargers. And 40 of their guys they pick up off the street, because no Patriots are going to be playing this season, as it seems. What are you going to do? Like the Chargers and Rams, if you got 40 of them sick, they're going to go, well, no, I'm not playing. F that noise. I was going to opt out anyways, but I decided to play the season, but I'm not getting around that. That's going to be a huge issue. I don't know if it's the ego of the league. This is the first time we're going to see what is the ego of the league and not what is the ego of the players that's going to make the difference.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, we don't agree on a whole lot of things, but I mean, I agree with you here. I don't – it's hard it's hard to guess on what they can do without knowing how to do it. And I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know. I see how the NBA is doing it. I see how the NHL is doing it. But on a larger scale, I mean, like Wayne says, it would have to be somewhere without big city lore, but multiple fields, like a college town in Texas, or I'm trying to think of like different places that have quite a few. You can't send it to Florida. I mean, they do have a nice little you got all sorts of college fields that you could use.
But I live near Texas though, and Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, they're all starting to peel back what they're allowing, because all the numbers are going back up through the roof again. So how do you? I don't know. It to me, we're going to really see here in the next couple weeks what the NFL season may be like, based on how many more players opt out and how the league reacts to how they're going to continue to move forward with the season. If the NFL says, hey, we're going to go as we've got it set up and planned, regular 17 weeks, I don't know if it's going to work, man. Which sucks. I
mean, it might be easier if you go, AFC in one spot, NFC in the other spot, and let them two conferences, really battle it out. It might be something where if you do that, then you can have a neutral site, for the Super Bowl, maybe not in Tampa Bay, depending on what Florida's numbers look like come January. But I mean, they've got to do something where you get football. I mean,
you're literally like, listen, just give us some damn football, okay? I don't care how you do it, just give it to us. I posted.
I didn't even know what to say there. I was just like,
you're like, I don't even care about a plan, just give it to us. I put on Sports Soup. I said, the Sports Soup page. I said, hey, if the NFL cancels, does the NCAA follow suit just because they're watching them? And the first reaction is a couple of fans put like the GIFs up. Then it was like, don't you put that on me from the Ricky Bobby, like Talladega Nights. Like, don't you even talk about there not being college football. And I'm that way with professional sports. Like, I think that's where we're at. Like, we're seeing the MLB and we're seeing the NHL and the NBA, and we're just telling the NFL, like, just look at what you have in front of you and figure something out. Don't you dare take this season away from us. I've already done like 13 freaking fantasy drafts. I've got like 6-7 more. I don't want to waste all my time doing that just for nothing. Please.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I definitely get it.
Yep.
Just give us football.
Just give us football. Hey, we agreed on something else. Just give us some damn football. That's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On that note, game on. Game on. He's wheeling, he's feeling. Whoa, he shoots. He scores.
All right, so now it's everybody's favorite time. It is time to play Way or No Way.
It's the time where Brandon is wrong almost all the time.
No way.
All right, so you guys know how this game works. If you haven't joined us on our podcast yet, I give a series of statements, and then we either give our way or our no way. Wayne is listening, so I'm not sure how many kind of ways, kind of no ways we're gonna get, but we will certainly figure those out. Before we get to that, though, my son just hopped on and said somebody took a green turd on your flag. I think he's talking about Wally behind you.
Wally, well, the way the season is going, I agree with you there, Brandon Jr. That is a green turd right there with this. When Nathan Eovaldi is our savior and we're looking for a win once every 5 damn games, yeah, that's a turd right there. I don't disagree with you. That's a way. You can put that on a way.
All right. So
God, terrible.
So here we go. So MLB and NFL are done if they do not plan on moving seasons to a bubble. Way or no way?
Way. I think we just talked about it. I think the MLB is one team away from this happening, and we weren't even a week in. And Miami, and I get it's Florida and everything, but these teams are traveling everywhere. They're there for multiple days when they're traveling away. It's a way. They can't afford in such a shortened season to have another team pause. What are you going to do? Are you going to play playoff games going into January because you have so many makeup games? It's not going to work. And the NFL, I mean, it's on their ego. It's on them. But you got to figure something out. I don't know if you can do this. They've got the benefit of one day type of things, but you got players opting out. They're obviously concerned about their health in this situation. You got to come up with a plan, or you're going to have half this league opt out. And if that's the case, why even bother having a season?
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I say no way. I think baseball will figure it out as long as we don't have another team with a 17-player outbreak. I think that baseball will find a way to finish its season with or without the Miami Marlins. I think football, if they don't find a bubble, I think that Roger Goodell, I've said it before, he's just got that God complex. And when he gets that God complex, I don't think he finds anything. I think he'll tell him, we'll find the next guy, next man up.
I mean, I just think you just want to not agree with me when I'm trying to agree with you. You literally are the person that said there's no way the MLB season's going to last. And it's literally fallen into – you could literally be like, I predicted it. No.
Look, now it's here, and now I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to find every way to say no way to something like that because I do not want to lose. I don't
either, man.
Every day watching it, and I can't, man. All right. So here's the next one, and this is something that actually got brought up to me on Facebook. Somebody asked me if I think the NHL playoffs will have a higher viewer rating than the NBA playoffs. I say way. I say that the NHL with the tournament that they're having, I know the NBA is going to put on a good product like they always do. Maybe it's just a personal preference that I prefer. I'll definitely be watching more NHL than I will NBA. But it's going to be a fun tournament. The playoffs are fun when they're the normal NHL playoffs. But when you get NHL playoffs at a much higher rate,
it's the best sport.
It's going to be it's definitely the best playoffs. And as a baseball fan, and I love baseball, NHL is the best, most exciting playoffs that there are.
Man, I'm literally sitting here watching St. Louis and Chicago right now. It's an exhibition NHL game. I've got my Bruins gear on. I'm a huge hockey fan. To me, playoff hockey is the greatest sport on the face of the earth. 100%. I rip on people in sports hoop all the time. Like, you complain about your football players, complain about getting hit. Your NBA players complain about getting hit. Watch them freaking hockey, but no one wants to watch hockey. For some reason, it's just, it's a bunch of grown men skating on ice. I don't want to watch it. But as much as I love hockey, this is a no way, and I'll literally just prove it to you. Name me 10 NHL players, Brandon.
Name you 10 NHL players?
Name me 10 NHL players.
Patrick Kane, Jonathan Tate. I'll name you 10 Blackhawks.
No. League-wide. Name me 10.
I could definitely do it. I'd have to sit here for a second. But
you'd have to see it for a second. Now name me 10 NBA players.
I couldn't do that either. I'd have to sit here for a second and think about it.
Well, you hate NBA. But the majority of America, they're going to be able to list off 10 NBA players. Listen, the NBA has done an amazing job. Even though you and I both agree it's our least favorite of the major sports. I'm in the same boat as you. I love the Celtics, but if it's Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, Patriots, the Celtics are going to be my last one I watch. But they were the number 2 sport behind the NFL. They were able to leapfrog the MLB. NHL is still number 4. I love hockey. I wish people would really take the opportunity where we're lacking sports to watch these NHL playoffs and get super pumped and see when athletes actually hit each other and, don't give 2 craps about physical play. But it's just not a sport that people know in the household enough where it's going to be where it's going to overtake the NBA. You say, we talked about it. What if the Pelicans get in? Zion versus LeBron? That's going to probably shatter some records. Kane versus Bergeron? I think that sounds damn exciting, as you would. But I just say those two differences.
Only because that would be the Stanley Cup Finals. And if the Blackhawks get there, we have to go through Edmonton in the first round, and that's, man.
Yeah, good luck with
Edmonton's
that.
So
good luck with that. Everyone just turned off. They're like, they bring up Edmonton? Like, what the hell?
You just have to get a hot goalie. You just got to get a hot goalie. Our goalie's coming off of COVID-19, so I don't know.
Yeah, well,
what's going to happen there?
He's looking good. 3-0 in scrimmage play, but nonetheless. Right. But no way, though, unfortunately.
So moving on to the next one, it kind of, plays into the whole COVID talk that we were having. And so the next one is NFL players opting out are jeopardizing their careers more than players in other sports.
I kind of feel cheap using the answer that I did when I first started joining you on this podcast, but this is a middle of the road thing. I don't think it's definitive because, again, it's the level of the player. So if a guy that is somewhere between 40th and 52nd man on the roster, special teams type player, are you chancing it if you opt out? Heck yeah. I mean, we've got 6 New England Patriots players that have opted out, but most people know the names Dante Hightower, Patrick Chung. Some people, if you're local in New England, you know Brandon Bolden, but most people outside of New England don't. But those are 3. The other 3, most people have no damn idea who they are. Those 3 are chancing their careers, and Brandon Bolden to some extent is as well. Dante Hightower is not chancing his career. There's 0 chance. If he comes back next year and for some reason Patriots are like, you left us, we're cutting you, there's 31 NFL teams that are going to go after him. I don't even care if Patrick Mahomes this year. Now, the NFL would die. They would suffocate themselves if he opted out. If he opts out, who the hell is going to tell Patrick Mahomes he's not going to be the quarterback of the Chiefs next year? So, to me, it's not you can't answer this straightforward. We've done this with baseball. My same answer. I don't know. Is there a middle ground between way and no way? Is it A? It's A.
It's Wayne. That's the middle ground. Kind of way.
Kind of way.
Kind of way. Depends on the size of the star. Look. I think in the NFL more than any other sport, because of their non-guaranteed contracts, because of the way that owners and coaches can cut them, I just think that the NFL, if you're sitting out, you're giving another star a chance to come up and take your spot. And when you do that, especially in the NFL, more than any other sport, you might not get another shot. I mean, some of your huge stars, if you're talking about if Patrick Mahomes sits out, he's coming back and he's going to be a quarterback. Even if it's not for the Chiefs, somebody else is going to pick him up, but the Chiefs would never let him go. But so I don't want to go kind of way. I want to go, no, you're not talking about just like your superstars. I'm talking about like the Goldmans and the Patrick Chungs of the world. If these guys are sitting out, they might not get another spot on the Pats when they come back if somebody comes down and outperforms them. And then, go looking around the league, you might get a shot somewhere else, but you're jeopardizing your spot, and you're getting older. You're not getting any younger. It's not like every other sport.
Does Patrick Mahomes chance a spot?
No.
Does Joey Bosa chance a spot?
Joey Bosa?
Yeah. No. Does Khalil Mack chance a spot?
Yes.
That's bullshit. In the league, you're telling me right now if the Bears cut him, he's not going to have a chance to sign the exact same contract next year? The New England Patriots, with their $200 million of cap space, would sign him in a heartbeat.
No, because he's not getting, for one, he's not getting any younger. Okay, and for two, if you sit out and the rest of your teammates are going out there on the field, going to and I hate this term as a military member, and I know a lot of people hate when they hear it, but you're going to battle with all your teammates are going to battle without you. You're saying that you're more important than them. You go into another locker room. That the NFL more than any other sport. No. I'm telling you,
it's not an ego-driven. It's not an ego-driven league yet. What is the number one thing in terms of sales for the NFL? It's not tickets. It's not vendor items. What is it? It's merchandise. We buy the jerseys with the names on the back of it. We fans control that. We are connected to it. I almost cried like a little baby. I almost said the B word when Andrew Luck retired. I was literally in the middle of a fantasy draft, and I was O.J. Simpson's over here doing his fantasy draft and drafts him 3 seconds later. The guy retires. I was almost in the same boat. Like, I had him in dynasty leagues. This was my player. I have the Colts Luck shirt, everything. Like, this is what we drive. People love the players. They may not be as egocentric in terms of what we see in the NBA, but come on, man. If DeAndre Hopkins opts out of this season, and I don't think – he might have signed with Arizona, but let's just say he didn't sign a contract extension. Are you telling me DeAndre Hopkins opts out of this season and he's not on the Cardinals next year, that someone's not going to pick that man up? I don't care if he's a year older. Sign that man to a max contract. It's going to happen.
Look, I'm telling you, in the NFL more than any other sport, you can lose your spot. Tom Brady. Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe and was injured.
Right. But what happened to Drew Bledsoe?
I don't know. He went on to Dallas and it didn't do shit.
He went to Buffalo and had the cover of Sports Illustrated. The whole town of Buffalo was behind him. He had the number 2 jersey sale after that happened in the whole nation. Then even when he went to Dallas and everyone knew that he was washed up, he got back in the top 10 in jersey sales. Why? Because people love the players and they can still keep going. And even Drew Bledsoe, when he was obviously not the quarterback that was thought of him, still was given 2 more shots on it. No way it's not going to happen. Go, Jared. We can't say bitch. I'm trying to keep myself clean here a little bit, Jared, okay? We've got sponsors that are doing this. I'm trying to be smart with what I'm doing. Your podcast and me separately will curse a storm, okay?
We can say bitch, but we usually do it when we're talking about Boston sports teams. All right, so on to the next one. The next one, if Mitch Trubisky opts out, this one I just have to make this one.
I was waiting for that.
If Mitch Trubisky opts out, the Bears become favorites in the NFC North.
Not with Minnesota, my friend.
Look, I have him at 11-5 with Mitch Trubisky on the team. I don't have him leading the team after the second game of the season.
Yeah, I know.
But if Mitch Trubisky opts out, I'm flying you out here and we're having a party. Because that would be.
You want to buy my plane ticket? I'm down with that, man. I'll save you some money. I love the drive. Give me some gas money and some food money. I'm fine with it.
That would be the greatest thing that ever happened to Bears fans. I mean, look, they already declined his fifth-year option and all that, but I mean, oh my God, I almost hope he catches COVID.
Oh my God. This is the world we live in 2020. I hope you catch COVID, you son of a bitch. Why don't you just, I hope you catch gonorrhea or something crazy that would actually make it hard for him to physically be on the field. No.
Because that's going to happen to an NBA player in the bubble, and it won't be so funny.
No, listen, for me, it's a no way. But listen, I've already said, listen, it's not just because he beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I'm a big Nick Foles fan. I just think that the guy continues to show flashes. He's not this over-the-top quarterback. He's not going to do all the high-end things, but I think he's a damn good quarterback that, unlike Jameis Winston, who needs a year to learn from a great quarterback, I think he can be and should be starting in this league. So if Mr. Trubisky goes down or gets pulled, Big Dick Nick comes in, hell yeah, I think the Bears are going to do great. I still think the Bears are making the playoffs. Minnesota Vikings, though, Joshua Seavey, I know you're not on here. You should be, goddammit. The Minnesota Vikings are the favorites. They'll stay the favorites. And they're going to win the NFC North.
I have the Vikings winning. I have the Bears in the wild card. I have the Vikings winning the NFC North. I think the Vikings are good. I think Green Bay is going to have a down year. I keep seeing all these things with Aaron Rodgers.
You see that? You see him commenting on Love today? It's going to implode, baby.
Yeah, and I think that when you get an Aaron Rodgers who has his game on, I still think he's an overrated player. I mean, the guy, look, he's been all right throughout his career. Well, he's been really good throughout his career. I'll give him that much.
He does the championship belt.
Yeah. How many championships has he won?
Hey, listen, I'm on your team with that, man. I'm on your team. Trust me. Trust me.
And look, I think that when you get him at his best, he's a pretty good quarterback.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when you get in his head and he thinks you don't want him anymore, he's that type of guy who's going to take his ball and go home.
Well, look at his relationships with his family, with Olivia, with Oklahoma City's own Olivia Munn, the freaking hottest geek girl in the world, and then Danica Patrick, and you mess that crap up, and your own mom won't even come to your own defense. He's obviously got issues. Oh my God, with a huge hug. Listen, here's going to be the thing: if Mitch goes down, though, and Big Dick Nick comes in, and they start winning. The difference between Minnesota and Chicago, Brendan, is there's going to be so much media hype for Chicago. People are going to love it. They're going to love the story. People are going to get excited for it. It's going to get people in Chicago more excited for it. And there's going to be a far more media attention on them than Minnesota. But I still think Minnesota at 12-4 wins that division.
Yeah, no, I agree. I still think they do. I think that if it came down to them two in the NFC title game, that Bears defense, man.
Oh, if they meet in the playoffs, that's a different thing.
Hitting, I like them going after. Oh God, what's the name of their quarterback there?
Cousins. Khalil Mack smacking Cousins in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Over their defense going after Nick Foles.
And you don't have Diggs anymore there. That's going to be painful to play. I think they're going to do great.
They've got a lot of weapons, so that run game is astounding. But that's what the Bears pride themselves on.
Yep.
But all right, so we're getting off track here.
Nah, we're not.
Time to go ahead and switch lanes here just a little bit. So we talked about this segment a little bit earlier, and we are going to go ahead and move on to Shop Talk. Now, this is kind of a segment for our live viewers. We want you guys to go ahead and interact with us. We'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about us if you guys have anything you want to talk about. Learn about us a little bit if you guys want to talk about whatever. We are all about it.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne, nobody is passing on Khalil Mack. Nobody. 100% Wayne.
I don't want him to go away, but I'm just saying that in the NFL, more than anywhere else, NFL players are jeopardizing their careers more than any other sport.
Not when you're a top player. Not when you're a top player. Not when you're Khalil Mack. It's not going to happen. He will get signed. He'll get signed immediately now.
I'm not saying he wouldn't get signed, but he's not going to get the same contract offer that he has now. There's no way.
That's not. No. You can't do that. No, hold on. You can't do that. You can't put this little subdivision aspect. Well, no, he won't get the same type of contract. No, it's does they put their career? Putting your career in jeopardy means that you don't play in the NFL. That's different. You didn't pose it as a question of will they jeopardize their contract. That's different. Hell yeah, I would admit that there's going to be an aspect. Look at what we're seeing with Clowney right now. There's an aspect with he's had to go back and try to figure out how he's going to get the most money because what he thought he could get is less. Khalil Mack steps out for a year and the Bears cut him. Sure, there's going to be some challenges. Look at what we're seeing with Cam Newton right now. That's different than jeopardizing your career. Career means you don't have a job, and that is different to me.
So Jonathan Briggs wants to know, do you think the MLB season makes it to August 31st where the luxury tax would reset for the Sox?
Well, I'm not answering any damn shit about the Sox, JJ. Come on, man. Wow. JJ is one of the most passionate Red Sox fans there is. Great kid.
It's been a rough start, man.
Man. When, like I said, I've never been so pumped to see a social media post for Eovaldi when they were like, he's on the mound today. I was like, oh, God, we might have a chance for a win. Like, this is insane. It is garbage.
I'd like to point out that when we did our predictions, I said the Red Sox were going to struggle this year.
Listen, I would like to thank the Boston Red Sox and the LA Dodgers for making my two predictions on them look like absolute garbage, look like hot fucking garbage.
Hey, we haven't seen
garbage.
the Dodgers play San Diego yet. I will say that.
That's the only thing. But the thing that sucks is that I can't believe that you actually predicted them to win it too. So even if I'm right, I can't brag about you, be like, well, at least I got the biggest shocker of a prediction. No, you had to cheat off of me. I swear to God you found some way to cheat off me, man. I don't have any leg up in any damn place, except for the fact that the Cardinals are going to win the NL Central.
I hate you. Jared Parrott wants to talk about Josh Allen being ranked 87th best player in
Good
the
one,
NFL,
Jared.
Once not in the top 100.
Hey, are you ready for this, Brandon? Colin Cowherd made a hot take on Josh Allen, saying he has reasons to not even put him in the top 200, and I think Colin Cowherd was a effing idiot. Absolute idiot. That was the worst take that I think I've heard. So there you go, my friend. I'm continuing.
Not in the top 100, you think it's a bad take?
No, Allen is in the top 100. Cowherd says that he can't even put him in the top 200. To me, that's garbage if you actually watch this kid.
If you're a starting quarterback in the league, you have to be in the top 100.
The kid took a team. The kid took a team in the AFC East with the New England Patriots still having Tom Brady on the team and got them to the playoffs and was minutes away from beating Houston down in Houston. Like, I know Houston's not Kansas City. That's still huge. That's an absolutely huge step up for a second-year quarterback. Are you kidding me? The guy can scramble. He's making right decisions. He's still making mistakes. He's not making Mitchell Trubisky mistakes. That's for damn sure. He has shown himself as a leader. The players, Diggs got traded there, and he had one session with the kid, and he was like, man, I'm so pumped to be here. This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm not as baffled by Wentz not being in the top 100, though.
I'm not either.
Because he's been so injury riddled that it's hard to put him there. And I would understand that. I can't put Josh Allen at 87 though. I think he's way higher than 87.
Okay, you're higher than he's not out of the 100. You mean higher, like better?
No. Yeah, I think he should have been. Probably in the top 50. I think the way that he's played.
Yeah,
I say right now.
I say about top 60. And I think he has every ability now with Stephon Diggs to get in the top 30 next year. Absolutely does. And with the AFC stuff for grabs, he's got the chance to get in the top 25. But
Carson, how do I not have Wentz?
How? Where? Jared, what has Carson Wentz done?
Jared,
he's got numbers, but he can't stand on the damn field without getting hurt. You can't have a great career and be hurt all the time. That's the difference. Yeah, if you want to go out there and be successful, that means you have to be successful all the way. He's got a ring on his finger, and it wasn't because of him. It was because of Big Dick Nick.
Once through 4,000 yards, I had no wide receiver more than 500.
Great.
Yep.
He can throw the ball. He can't stand on two legs.
Was that last year he threw for 4,000 yards?
Yeah. But and I know you're going to now crap on me about this, Brandon. This is a league in which where you throw for 3,500 yards and you're an average quarterback. That is the fact of this league. This is not the 90s and early 2000s NFL. You can throw for that many yards. And as you said, he had no wide receiver for barely over 500 yards. That's because all these offenses are made to throw. They're made to throw. But part of your success and how good you are is your health.
See,
you can have the potential. Carson Wentz has the potential to be a top 30 player.
I'm torn here now because he has once thrown 4,000. I didn't know this. Once threw 4,000 yards, no wide receiver more than 500, 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. I mean, it's kind of in the way of my argument for having Jameis Winston in the top 10. I mean, Jameis Winston threw for the only quarterback in the NFL last year to throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. And I know he threw.
We're trying to get sponsors for our damn show, man. Quit bringing Jameis Winston in. No one's going to want to sponsor this.
Look, I'm just saying I kind of understand his argument. I maybe, but again, for me, you got to show another year where you can stay uninjured.
Eyeball test, Brandon. Don't go off into La La Land now just because of the fact that you got some stats thrown on you. It is a league that you can throw for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns with ease. That is the norm. That's the norm.
4,000 yards passing.
What does your eye tell you with Carson Wentz?
Listen, though, if you put up 4,000 yards and have no wide receiver with more than 500 yards, that's kind of impressive.
Sure.
Your touchdown ratio is 27-7. That's pretty impressive.
Okay, so are you picking him before? Here we go. Here's my question for you. You picking him before you pick Jameis Winston?
No.
See, man, now you're ass backwards with that. Yeah, you do. You pick him before you do. No. This is done. No. This is done. Get Carson Wentz. Listen, Carson Wentz, if he can stand on two legs through a 16-game season, is a top 25 player. I'm making that very clear. He has the potential to be in the top 25. Think about how many players are in this league, and I'm saying he has the potential of a top 25. Josh Allen actually went through a whole season with less weapons, with a 600-year-old Frank Gore on his team, and was able to get them to the playoffs in a Tom Brady-led AFC East and almost pulled out a victory in the playoffs against the Houston Texans. He has proven it. Carson Wentz has proven that he knows how to throw the ball, but you can't be this elite player if you continue to get hurt. Part of athletic success in professional sports is staying healthy and succeeding from beginning to end. That's an element of rankings to me.
All right, guys. So we're going on with the shop talk. I want you guys to go ahead and smash that like button if you're watching us on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
Share it. Do whatever you got to do. Let everybody know we're sitting here. We're talking sports with you guys. We're talking about what you guys want to talk about. Click, like, share, subscribe. Find us on the YouTube channel. Find us on our TSS Facebook page. You can find us on the RTF Sports Network. We will be coming to you live every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from now on.
Starting this Sunday, right?
This Sunday, August 2nd, 3 days a week. And then we'll be on our show will air live Monday, Wednesday, Friday not live, but our recorded show will air on the RTF Sports Network on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, prime time for your drive home from work. So feel free to join us, re-listen if you miss any parts of the show. All right, let's get back to it here. Who has the better season, Cam Newton or Tom Brady?
This to me is no contest.
I had said when the Pats signed Cam Newton.
I'm going to mute my mic right now so that I don't react negatively to
I said when the Patriots signed Cam Newton that Cam Newton brought that team from a 6-10 team to an 11-5 team. I think Cam Newton is a huge success in New England. But I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going really far in the playoffs. I have Tom Brady as the GOAT. There until Tom Brady dies, and I said this on the Mike and Mike Man Hour. So Michael Buckheister, if you are listening, you know I said this. Until the day he dies, not the day he retires, until the day he dies, there is no better quarterback in the NFL than Tom Brady.
Until he ends up in a lump in the middle of the field like we saw Brett Favre at the end of his career. Like, that's good. Good for you. Good for you, my co-host. Very good. Tom Brady's going to have the better season. You want to know why? Not just because he's the GOAT, okay? Because he's an aging GOAT. As a Pats fan, I think his heart wasn't in it last season. I think it was obvious. He didn't go through all these preseason practices and OTAs. He had one workout with N'Keal Harry. He's already done far more with that with the Tampa Bay players. That's what we were used to as Patriots fans. Last year, he made the statement, I already knew when the season started I wasn't going to stay here. He was not vested in that season, and yet still had a pretty decent season for not being vested and not having a lot of weapons. He's got Mike Evans. He's got Godwin. He's got Gronk. That's back, his freaking favorite player. When you throw in just as a scrap, O.J. Howard, I mean, it's not even close. Like, Brady doesn't even have to be on top of his game to be able to make this succeed. Cam Newton is going to need to be way on top of his game. Now he's got a great coach and a great offensive coordinator that I'm really hoping that they use his skills to be able to make that work for the team. But I think they got to spend a lot of time getting him to understand, Cam, you don't have to put your head down. You don't have to tuck the ball and run it. If you go outside and you don't have an avenue, throw the damn ball away. Be prepared. You don't have to get the 2-yard pickup and slam your shoulder down. It's just, that's the difference. And Tom Brady is going to either throw it away or is going to have 10 freaking weapons to throw it to on offense. He doesn't even need to be a great quarterback.
He's about to have the best receiving core he's ever played with.
Ever. Thank you. This is, even with Randy Moss on the New England Patriots, this is the best wide receiver core that he has ever had.
I 100% agree with you. I think they're a 13-win team. I think that they win that NFC South. They're going to be good. They might be the first team to host the Super Bowl. You guys will have to wait and see for our predictions coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Junior also wants to know, could you guys see the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl? And if so, who wins?
Yes.
I absolutely could see that. It may or may not be my predicted Super Bowl opponents this year. And
I want to wait to see how many more people opt out of the season first. I'm not making any damn predictions.
Yeah, I could see Tampa Bay winning that. I could absolutely see Tom Brady going out as a Super Bowl champion, doing it in Tampa Bay, and walking away from the game. I mean, at that
He's
point,
not done. At
that point, you've proven that. The only reason I think he's in Tampa Bay is to prove that he's not a system quarterback.
Yep.
So at that point, you've proven everything. There's no reason for you to come back. You got a freaking supermodel wife at home, all the money in the world. That's why
he's
love
going
Tom
to play
Brady.
till at least he's 45. He's made that statement, and he's got it literally in his contract. The same way we as New England fans, as much as we wanted to deny it, he wrote in his contract he couldn't be franchised. He literally has the exact same thing set up. He's got a second year in Tampa Bay, can't be franchised. He's literally setting up for what you said. If he can go out and win, now he can go out. What if he goes to another team and does the same thing and wins? Now you've got him going to New England, to Tampa Bay, which is statistically the worst NFL franchise in the history of the league, and then he goes to another league and to another team and gets them to the playoffs. Like, he has every ability to go, this was all me, guys. Like, this was not Bill Belichick. It wasn't Spygate. It wasn't Deflategate. This was all me. I knew how to do this. I'm the best. You know, he doesn't like to say it, but you know he's driven to prove that he's the best damn player that's ever played this game.
Yeah, and I say it all the time. Look, Tom Brady is the GOAT, but I hate him. And the reason why I hate him is because the guy makes so damn much money. He wins all the time, and he's got a supermodel wife at home. Nobody deserves to be that freaking happy.
He makes a ton of money, but he only makes average money until this year for players. That was part of his success. But to get back to the question, though, could I see it? Sure. Don't know if it's going to be my pick. I've got to reassert myself. I'm going to go week by week. We're going to have those picks, Brandon. It's going to be great. But if that was the lineup, I love my boy Tommy. But right now, as long as he's healthy, you can't stop Patrick Mahomes. He is the leader of this league, and he's a D Ford offsides away from being back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
I get it. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be right back here on the Triple Shot Sports Facebook page, but we will also be able to be found on the RTF Sports Network Facebook page, on the RTF Sports Network, and on their YouTube page as well. So feel free to join us live. What do you got there?
Raging Panda, best damn female fighter that's out there. I've reached out to her. My goal is to get her on here. So if I can do this, best damn female fighter, up and coming. She's fantastic. Got my shirt in today. Hey, TKO Sports, if you want to get your girl more attention, get her on here with us. We'd love to be able to interview her. Huge fan.
Absolutely. That would be an amazing interview. So for now, we're be out of here. You guys have fun, be safe, and definitely give us your feedback. 100%. Like, share, support, do all that stuff. We love it when we see you guys sharing the product. All the interactions that we've had. I talked to Chad earlier this week. Facebook gave me the rundown. We had over 11.5 thousand reaches. We had over 500 or 600 interactions.
It's almost 600 interactions.
Yeah,
awesome stuff.
It was unbelievable. Thank you guys for the support. We love knowing that you guys love our show. And we're going to keep doing, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing the things that you guys want to do, things you guys want to see, things you guys want to hear. So give us all the feedback that you can. Smash that like button. Give us some hearts. Do whatever you got to do. And we will see you guys next week for sure.
Sunday night.
Till then, we are Audi 5000.
Go Cardinals.
Get out of here.
That's all the time we have for today's show. We hope you enjoyed the podcast.